To order, Thursday, August 24th, 2023. Let's start with pledge of allegiance and a moment of silence.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Well, good job to me. Okay, Brittany, if you would please, a roll call.
Richard Cochran,
Here.
John Somavella.
Here.
Jamie Kramer. Jamie Kramer is absent.
She's tardy.
Tardy.
She did message that she's on her way. She'll be here momentarily.
Joe Underwood. Joe Underwood is absent. Heather Harris Brady.
Here.
Robert Fudge.
Here.
Brad Jewett.
Here.
Okay, we have quorum. Brittany, if you'd read the public comment.
Any interested party or person may address the board on any matter of greater concern during public comment. Comments will be limited to 5 minutes and a 1-minute warning will be given when needed. Any public comment that becomes disruptive, unduly repetitive, or impedes the orderly progress of the meeting may be terminated by the presiding officer. Once you have completed your public comment, the board may ask any clarifying questions. If needed, you will be assigned a member of BATA staff to follow up directly on any open concerns.
Hey,
Hello, my name is Kevin Query. I'm representing a client who formally submitted an offer for purchase. And for the minutes of the last meeting, we were prepared to submit an offer for 2.15 million with an escalation clause of $50,000 higher than what any offer was outstanding at that point. It was 2.1, so we're at 2.15. In the last meeting, the board adjourned any decisions to ensure that the process for submission was clarified, as there were some questions about transparency. And it was also encouraged the board increase the transparency in the bidding process and ensure that there's no unlawful conflicts of interest, as well as enable the maximum purchase price for the building in the interest of the public's good. Since the last meeting, we've inquired with the representatives to see if there was any published clarifications on the submission process, so we could formally submit a higher offer. However, we were told by your representatives that any decisions regarding this process, as far as clarifying the process, will be made at this meeting. In the agenda that was posted less than an hour ago, it appears that there will be a decision made today. So as such, we have formally submitted 2 offers with your representatives, one of which is $2.32 million with an escalation clause of $15,000 higher than any offer that is outstanding and that is uncapped. So if there's any questions, I'm here.
any others? Well, it's not. Anybody have a conflict of interest that they need to deal with, any board member? If not, could I get a motion to approve the agenda of the meeting?
Motion to approve.
Support.
Discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. We will now go into closed session, so we need everybody to leave except. Well, we need a motion, I'm sorry.
Mr. Chairman, I move that we go into closed session pursuant to MCL 15.268(1)H to consider material exempt from discussion or disclosure by state and federal statute. And that motion is for 12:05 PM.
Do I have a second?
Support.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Okay, we need everyone to vacate except for
Aye.
public session. We did have a discussion. Excuse me.
Who seconded that?
I think.
John did.
The reopening?
Oh, Heather did.
Okay.
We closed session, we had a discussion amongst the board and our legal representative. And based upon that, we have a few things we're gonna do prior to we have one thing we're gonna do prior to getting into the old business. So there's, based on the discussion with our attorney, we are looking for a motion to approve the process as we did it. Help me out here, Jen.
That's fine.
Or
I
Jen,
can make a
Robin,
motion.
Brad.
Yeah, Mr. Chairman, I move that we, define our process as originally established with the August 1st deadline.
Do I have a second?
Second.
Should we do a roll call on
Any
this?
discussion?
Well, yeah, any discussion.
I'll just reemphasize that we're making this motion based upon a discussion with our attorney in closed session.
Yes. And we feel we did not violate any public laws. So with that, all in favor of approving the process as originally?
Any roll call?
Yeah, that's why I just asked him. We'll do a roll call. Brittany, if you would, please.
Councilmember Villa,
Yes.
Jamie Kramer,
Yes.
Heather Harris Brady,
Yes.
Robert Fudge,
Yes.
Brad Jewett,
Yes.
Richard Cochran,
Yes.
and Joe Underwood is absent, so that is 6 yeses.
With that, we will get into, the original presentation of the purchase offers. Kelly, Scott, do you want to just kind of go over the August 1st?
So based on the motion that was just passed, Scott, if you could present the board with the offers that were received by the original deadline of August 1st.
Just make sure I got it. Did we distribute this spreadsheet to you people?
Yes.
Copies of that?
We do not have copies of it today.
Copies more.
We can make copies if we need to.
Yeah, I might want to, because I don't want to deviate from that. It's what we originally summarized for the finance committee on the side.
Yes.
And we actually, by August 1st, had 3 offers. There was one presented by 3 West Kevin Query and Todd Wyatt for $1,900,000, because if we're going to stick to August 1st, I'm not going to entertain the subsequent. We also had an offer from Samantha Vanderlucht, representing Jesse Najelski, for $1,900,000. And we had an offer from Dan Stiebel at Coco Manford, representing Leslie and Rowe, and that was for $2,100,000. You want me to go into all of the other details in terms of the lease back?
Yeah, but maybe it would be helpful to wait for the copies. Because it's hard to follow all the detail that comes.
The
Beyond
Wyatt
purchase price.
offer and the Rowe offers were both cash offers, and I think that's relevant. The offer from Jesse Majelski via Samantha was for a new mortgage, so there was a financing contingency. And I'll stop right there. Unless you want me to just keep rambling on.
We can pause.
Very pause.
Hopefully the copier is working.
That's the right size paper.
You can recite poetry if you want to.
I mean, next month's not fair.
Talk about the weather.
Eric didn't bring the cast room, did he?
It's a relatively small copy of the.
Circulate initial.
Mail comes out.
There,
Thank you, Eric.
right there.
Anybody got your?
I didn't have legal, so I had to put it off ASAP, but we get 2 pages. There you go.
All right.
Thank you.
Actually, we're going to take one of each for example.
That's right.
Yeah.
Same side, right?
Seems just cut off.
Yeah. Anybody else got it?
You just.
Yeah.
The, talking price.
Yeah, it's just, make that resolution.
Okay.
Yeah. Yep, that, August first price was 1,998 LLC, the first offer. This is a correction, they did submit another. So, again, cash offers on 2 of the 3. Earnest money deposits were, something we could have negotiated, but they were relevant at this point. The due diligence period is the period typically where a buyer gets the opportunity to do inspections, phase 1, phase 2 environmentals, and at any point in that process can back out of the agreement. So they put their earnest money up, they do their inspections, if they decide they don't want to move forward, we just sort of vacate the purchase agreement and return their earnest money. So it's an important period, and how they can get out of that is usually defined with the contingencies that are built into their purchase agreement. Danny, correctly where I'm running. Well, very good. We also asked in the process if they would consider an extension past the September date, just in case you can't vacate your current facility and occupy the new facility. And so, they all did that in one fashion or another. And those were, again, some details we were gonna need to hammer out, before we actually signed the purchase agreement. The rental payments, the first offer said that BATA would be responsible during that leaseback period up until September, well, in this case, it was August 31st. You'd be responsible for property taxes, liability insurance, repairs, and maintenance. The second offer that came in, one of the reasons we didn't consider this offer, in the final 2, is that they wanted to charge $18,000 a month during that period of leaseback. And that pretty well, that and the financing contingency made them less competitive than the other 2. For the non-delivery roll offer, it was no rent, but you pay operating expenses. There, the possession dates were important, but negotiable, I believe. The first offer wanted the 31st of August to be your last date of occupancy until you started that extension period if needed. The second offer and the third offer were both the end of September, which is something we sort of encourage buyers to do, that September was your date. In theory, you could occupy the new facility, but we better make it the end of September rather than the beginning, just in case things slip a little bit. There was one offer that also offered on the Diamond Building. And that was relevant only from the standpoint that we needed to clarify whether there was a contingent offer. If they didn't get cash, were they still interested in buying the Diamond facility? So that's why we had sort of deferred that discussion until after this meeting concluded, at least this issue concluded. The others are primarily notes in here. Most of them dealing with the 90-day extensions. The offer we didn't seriously consider was asking about the lifts and the auto washer that they stay included in the sale. And again, we didn't get into depth on that because that offer had sort of been dismissed earlier because of other financial concerns. I don't know if that's enough of a summary for you or whether or not you would like additional detail. But that's the lay of the land as of August 1st.
All right.
I'm good.
Yeah, I think that's pretty clear as to,
Maybe it's a motion to receive those offers. This is to acknowledge the receipt of the.
Kelly, I would think it's that all of those should be in your possession if somebody wants to look at them in greater detail.
Okay, we don't need a motion.
you know. No. Okay, so,
Yes, you know, I'd like to hear from the finance oversight team on, what their recommendation is to this board.
Sure. Sure, you know, upon evaluation of the offers that we had on that day, the largest offer and the terms relative to it, we overwhelmingly, said that would be the offer we would accept.
the else
We
here.
looked at them all and, you know, the finance oversight team really drilled down with the broker. I mean, we asked a lot of questions and back and forth. We didn't take this lightly, and I think it's based on the timing of that day, that was the best offer. And again, you know, to try to open it up, what happens in this industry, as most of the folks in real estate know, you start losing people. So we're gonna go back and forth and play around with this thing. It just could have been catastrophic for us. So we said, I'm gonna take this offer and we'll,
Yeah.
anything else, Rob?
No,
You got it.
that's, yeah,
I agree.
Well, with that being said, Mr. Chairman, I would take that we accept the finance oversight team recommendation of the $2.1 million offer and authorize the executive director to execute the purchase agreement for the sale of 3233 Cass Road property only.
motion to a second
Support.
support. Why should we should probably do a roll call. So Brittany, if you would please.
Sure. John Sondervilla,
Yes.
Jamie Kramer,
Yes.
Heather Harris Brady,
Yes.
Robert Fudge.
Yes.
Brad Jewett,
Yes.
Richard Cochran.
Yes,
Joe Underwood is absent, so that is 6 yes.
motion carries. Just another comment that I meant to make earlier is that, I know you felt that from the beginning, this should have been an option. And if they felt so strongly about that, I would question why they didn't have an escalating clause in their original offer to begin with. So to come to the table after the fact, to me, it tells me that they didn't really think that what we were doing was out of the realm of what we should have been doing to begin with.
I don't know if I can hear, got here, but I think it's also worth noting for the record that the offer that you just accepted is $200,000 over the asking price and substantially over your commercial appraisal price.
Yes.
So I just for the record.
But
But I
that,
just want to note, as we had discussed, in closed session especially is, you know, we had a deadline. August 1st was the deadline. Our motion reflects that and we have to stand behind that.
yes. Any other comments? If not, Brittany, would you go open it to second public comment? Brittany, you would please?
Any
You don't need
interested?
to, so.
Yeah.
Don't have to recite that. Overall basis, but, so any public comment? If not, let's have a, open floor, director comments or any other? If not, I have a motion to adjourn.
We'll move.
Thank you.